So for today's video, I wanted to go over starting out with AKs and where to begin with both the rifle and accessories. Now this is going to be a multi-part series, so this is part 1. And we will be going over how to start and set up your basic fighting rifle and how capable you can be with this system.
So, you've decided to buy an AK. What type should you get? I'm going to come out and say there are 3 styles I'd recommend. First is the AKM pattern. Palmetto makes a lot of AKM pattern stuff. Even their 100 series guns are still AKM pattern on the inside. They've got the thicker bolt stem, all that good stuff. You can also go with a 100 series AK, which KUSA does those. They've got thinner bolt stems on the inside, but most of the furniture matches up just fine. Or you can go with a Yugo pattern, which is like the Zostava guns. Those are different on the handguard and stock system, but the grip is still the same. So all 3 have a pretty decent aftermarket, but just recognize which one you're buying. For this video today, I have my Palmetto GF5. This is a AKM pattern rifle. Excellent gun. This one is pretty bare bones because I've set it up to be my retro style gun, just my wooden steel firearm. But I feel like it's a good starting ground to show you exactly what you can do to upgrade this gun. So let's get into how to make this an effective fighting rifle by general standards. Now, some controversy there, but overall you need 3 things. You need an aiming solution, you need a white light, and you need a sling to hold the rifle. So I'm just gonna say, you already have an aiming solution. Is it the best? No, I do like red dots better. I'll show me shooting at range, and I'm not doing a great job. Part of that is my eyes just are not working well with the iron sights. I'm having trouble focusing. I'm getting a little older.
Now I'm going to go ahead and walk this gun out to 400 yards, see how it does with just factory iron sights. I also want to note that I'm just using the sights as is. I'm not making any adjustments to get these hits. So you'll see me miss a few times. I am adjusting just based off of impacts here. So even with my poor eyesight, I'm still hitting out to 400 fairly reliably.
So I'm perfectly happy with this being the way it's set up for my optic solution. So past that, to start out, we got to prioritize the other 2 because we already have the aiming solution down. The white light and the sling. Now this guy has just an old leather Romanian sling. Not the best. Personally, I'd recommend going with something like a Blue Force Gear. I really enjoy those, but it still works. If you don't have money for a sling right away, these guys are like 10 bucks. They're not expensive, and they still afford you the ability to sling the rifle just fine. So now that we've gotten the sling out of the way, the other thing you're going to want to prioritize is a white light. Now, mounting white lights onto AKs can be a little tricky. They're not a plug and play immediately with most handguard systems or barrels. So my favorite solution is this Ultimak gas tube. So this Ultimak gas tube replaces the original, just like so, bolts onto the barrel, and it gives you enough Picatinny rail to mount your light and use it for, you know, illuminating stuff, because shooting in the dark is kind of dumb. You want to know what you're shooting at, so white light is important. Past that, when I add this on, I'll show this at the end of the video. This guy right here doesn't add any weight. So your white light is the only weight that's being added. So really easy to do that there, as well as if you decide you want a red dot down the line, you have Picatinny Rail. So this is one of my favorite solutions for adding a white light. There are also barrel clamp Picatinny rails and stuff like that. I'll go ahead and post a picture right here. That's an excellent option as well. If you're just going for bare bones, just a stock fighting rifle, you don't want to invest like $700 on Sure Shot furniture or Zenico or Midwest Industries, and it keeps the gun light and handy. So that's a good route to go if you're not planning to run night vision. Now, if you are planning on running night vision down the road, you might want to upgrade furniture, just because you need more rail space for the night vision equipment. So another downside to this Ultimak Rail here is it mounts everything so far forward that magnification is pretty well a no-go if you're mounting your optic here. Now, you can do a side rail, which in a previous video, I had a side rail mounted here and I was running a Trijicon TA50. You can do that. It does add weight though, so gotta kind of check that. The side rail does also retain zero incredibly well versus the Texas Weapon Systems dogleg rail. A lot of people have had great success with that. My personal experience has been kind of hit and miss. For something like a red dot, I'm happy with the TWS because I'm not trying to be super precise with it. But for something with magnification where I'm trying to stretch this guy out as far as I can, I'd rather go the side rail option. Also, nice part about the side rail option is it's really easy to pop it off and just throw it down if you just want to run iron sights, or if you want to run multiple different options, you can just pop a new one on and you're good to go.
1 week later.
All right, so we're back a week later. I went ahead and installed this Ultimak Rail with a Surefire dual fuel flashlight. So now this is fully equipped. It's everything I need for a fighting rifle. Now, I am still using iron sights. We're gonna go ahead and run a course of fire with a few buddies tonight. I'm gonna see how I hold up against all of them with their fancy equipment with these iron sights. Now, I'm not saying iron sights are the best or anything like that. Hands down, a red dot is better in almost every single way. Scope is also way better at range. But if you're just starting out with an AK, if you're just trying to figure out where to allocate funds, you already have your aiming solution, there's really no reason to start with a red dot, because an effective, a decent fighting rifle, you need a white light because it's dark half the time, and you don't want to just blindly fire somewhere, and you need a sling, you need something to be able to hold the rifle to you. So, good starter set here. Down the road, definitely invest in better optics, but this gets you up and running where you're able to fight with the rifle. You have a capable system here. So let's go ahead and start that course of fire with my buddies. There we go.
So one of the biggest downsides to shooting iron sights is low light or failing light situations. We're at dusk here, and I want you to notice right over here I've got a 6-inch swinger plate at roughly like 40 to 45 yards. Having trouble making that hit because the iron sights are a little hard to see. Now, I am using the excuse zone for sure, but as you can see, I'm still making pretty consistent hits with iron sights on different C-zone targets fairly easily. Now, reloading under a barrel like this or under a spool like this or any confined space is kind of tricky with most guns. So that is not my fanciest or fastest reload by far. So in this run, I managed to land 12 A zones, 8 C zones, 0 D zones, 0 no shoots in 79 seconds. Now my next run was significantly faster and more accurate. Part of that was because I was using white light and there was a much better contrast between the iron sights and the targets.
That's my time. Well, all right guys, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. I just wanted to put something out there for people just starting out with AKs. I know funds are a little tight for a lot of people and you got to figure out where to prioritize funds. I find most people who are getting into rifles, they like to start with the optic because the optic's the whiz-bang cool dad part to put on it. However, you already have an aiming solution on AKs. And if it's your one fighting rifle, you should probably prioritize the other two categories. So remember, it's aiming solution, white light, and sling. So here we prioritize the white light, we prioritize the sling. We have iron sights, so we can effectively aim the rifle. Now, I'm not saying that the iron sights are better than a red dot or scope in any way. In fact, it's the exact opposite, but it is an aiming solution. It is a way to shoot the rifle, point it the direction you need the bullets to go, and do the work you need to do. So, again, it's dark half the time, white light and sling because you want to keep it on your body. So hopefully you found this video informative. If you have, just go ahead and hit like and subscribe. And go ahead and leave a comment saying what your favorite fighting rifle is. Past that, just remember to go outside, touch grass, and eat ass. All right, guys?